I cannot. This eats. It eats. It looks fabulous. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about my everyday makeup routine. I'm going to show you how I achieve such a bright, glowy, but look that just emphasizes all of my features and how you can achieve the same for yourself. So follow along and I will give you some tips and tricks. First, I'm going to start out with the Refy primer. This is their Glow and Scuplt primer. I actually really love this. It provides such a just nice hydrated base, and so I go over with this all over my face, like all over. And I really like this applicator because it just rolls right on and it's really easy to clean. So I love that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and rub this all in. And one thing I love about this is I have very sensitive skin. My skin, honestly, the more hydration the better because of how sensitive my skin is. And it reacts so well with using this, and it just makes the results chef's kiss. Let me just say, it's great. Okay, while I let that settle in, I'm gonna go ahead and glue my brows down. I go either in with the e.l.f. brow lift or I do the NYX the brow glue. Today I'm going to do the X brow lift just because, as you can see, my brows are kind of blonde, kind of brown because I'm at my re-bleach period. So I really want to be able to get these nice and tacky. The NYX brow glue I feel like is a little bit better when they're all fully bleached. I don't need to go as ham as I usually do. And with it, I'm just gonna lightly feather it in because I don't need much. A good amount, but not much. And when I'm doing it, I feather the product in and then I use a little bit of pressure to brush it. Here, I'm gonna zoom you in some. And so with it, I lightly feather and then I turn it a little bit and push those brows down. So as you can see, they're very flat. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side. Feather it on and then turn. That's it for the brows. We love. Again, with my everyday routine, I love a glowy look. So next we're gonna go in with the Lumi Glotion. And with that, I am gonna be very liberal with it. And we're gonna rub that in. This is how that looks. Foundation we're wearing today, I absolutely am in love with Haus Labs right now. Not even right now. Honestly, I've been in love with Haus Labs for at least 3 months at this point. As you can see, my little, this is my second bottle, by the way. I'm like here already. So we're gonna be going in with the Haus Labs foundation. I am good with a good full pump and just a drop. Honestly, this is gonna sound very crazy, but more is better. More is better. I know a lot of people nowadays are doing like just conceal. More is better. The more natural you want it to look, the more you use. I promise it'll make sense. Okay, I'm gonna go with my sponge. I have it on the back of the hand. I am going to pat on the sponge, lightly pat it, and just start blending it in. And I'm gonna use this to build it up. I'm not gonna concentrate it. I'm gonna build it up all over my face. Already you can see I didn't even touch my forehead yet, but just It just goes on beautifully. So good. Again, I'm gonna go in just a light tap. I'm gonna start in the forehead, tap there, and just keep building. With this, because I do bleach brows, I'm okay with it getting on my eyebrows because I am actually gonna go back with concealer to just blond my brows out a little bit more. Okay, with that pump and a half, typically that is good. From here though, I will determine if I want to go in with another half pump and build it up more. I'm okay with this for today, but in this moment, this is typically when I would decide that, depending on how I'm feeling for the day. From this moment, because I learned a little tip from Miss Jackie Ina years ago, I'm going to do my concealer. I'm using the Haus Labs concealer as well. I just love how these products blend out. They blend out beautifully. So we're using that today. I typically go here. I put a good amount of product there. And then just because I really want to snatch my face, I don't go all the way under. I bring it up. I angle it up. And then if I feel like I need a little bit more, I will go back and add more there. So when I blend it out, same for this side. And then we angle up. I feel like I need a little bit more. Okay. And then I let it sit. I let it get tacky because it blends out beautifully if you let it sit for a bit. So while this sits, I go on and start my next step. My next step today is going to be contour and brows. I am gonna let my contour sit as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. I am using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand as my contour in the shade Tan Deep. And so with that, I'm just going to outline those areas I'm looking for. Beautiful. Stunning. I look a little crazy, but trust the processing. Now while that sits, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of color into my brows. I am using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 15, just because it was the lightest one I could find at the store, and that actually the same brush, same spoolie I used earlier is what I'm gonna use. And a little goes a long way. I literally just have like the tiniest bit. And we're going to, again, a slight flicker. Because I have the gel on, it just adheres a lot better in my opinion. Alright, and with it, like how we did earlier, you're gonna light flicker and push. Light flicker and push. And then just to clean it up, I'm going to go with my bronzer stick. It's the Clinique Chubby Sculpt Stick. And I'm going to hit it on a flat brush to go around. And from here, I have a little bit on this one side. I'm just going to carve. Mind you, I only do the brow part when my brows are close to needing to be redone. So now that everything else has sat for a bit, I'm going to go ahead now and start blending it in. I'm going to spray with my setting spray. It's the Ulta Wannabe Refresh. I'm going to spray my sponge. And I'm just going to start. And like already look at how beautiful that looks. It just blends so nicely. So this is the before, this is the after. Now I'm gonna go ahead and blend out this side. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna go ahead and blend out all of the contour. And you're gonna go ahead and blend out that contour as well. And when I blend it out, I like to bring it around this curve here. I feel like it really just pulls the face in. So as you can see, this side isn't blended out, but this side is. I now kind of have this slight hollow, which is something that I like. I feel like it really showcases my cheekbones. This is everything blended out. Like I said, I love a very glowy just look that really highlights my features, and I feel like this look is doing that for me so far. From here, I am going to put some blush on. I'm going to be going in with the Milk Makeup blush stick, the lip and cheek stick in the shade Quickie. This shade is absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like berry, the perfect berry red color. I love it. And I only do like a little bit here in the high points of my cheeks because I love blush, but I love a powder blush more than a liquid blush or like a cream. And I don't know, I just feel like it washes out. It washes out very quickly once you put the powders and everything else on. So I do go back over it with a lot of powder blush. I'm gonna go in with the Laura Mercier Ultra-blur translucent setting powder. I usually have a larger one, but I ran out and I have a travel one for when I went on my last vacation, so I wanted to use that up first. And then instead of using like a wet sponge, I actually go in with like a little puff. I go in with this puff because of the angle. I can really get under there. I don't bake because one thing about me, I hate feeling dry. Like anywhere in my body, I hate feeling dry, and I just feel like whenever I bake, no matter what I use, I feel excessively dry and it drives me insane. So I don't bake. So I did that first layer. I'm gonna go back now. This time I do on the back of my hand, and I just go in for both sides. Here, because I tend to crease. And then that excess that I just patted off, I just use that to go back in and get those areas. And if I need more, I'll go do the same thing, get those areas. And then from here, once I powder everywhere, I go back in with the wet sponge. And I just perfecto. Yeah. Before I proceed, I take that same Ultra spray and I just douse my face. And then from here, next is my favorite part. I'm gonna go into the Q-tip and I am going to dry my waterline. This part I do one at a time because my eyes water so fucking easily. So I do that one first, and then I'm going in with the Maybelline Tattoo Studio gel liner pencil. I love this. I've loved this for years, and I was crying when I saw Billie Eilish post that she used it, because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I did. I found my refill, so I was like, you know what, it's fine, it's fine. I'm glad everyone else can experience the greatness of this pencil, because this pencil is chef's kiss. Okay, okay, I caught myself trying to tight line on here. It didn't work. It did not work. If you really want to see how I do my eyes, I can post a video, but Mama's was struggling trying to do it on camera. And the next step is a wing. Sometimes I do a baby wing, sometimes I do a big wing, just depending on how I'm feeling today. Today I'm feeling a nice juicy wing. So that's what we're gonna do. I always do the NYX Epic Wear Liner. It's waterproof, it's great. I have been using this for years. I will probably die if this is ever gone. I will die. But this is my favorite, my favorite, my favorite, my favorite. Yeah. So we are going to, I always take out the excess and then go and do it. Oh, babe, yeah. This is the wing for today. Now do the other side. And remember, sisters, not twins. Okay, so my camera died when I was going to do the other eye, so I just went ahead and did it off camera, but this is how they're looking. Again, sisters, not fucking twins. Because I'm not gonna give myself those problems to make them look exactly the same. No. I always do my mascara before I do my powders because you want your mascara to be dry, especially too if you're gonna spray your face. You really should spray your face first before you do mascara, but I like to spray my face after I do powders. So this is my way of getting around that. I do my mascara, let it dry down, do all my powders before I finish my face off. Speaking of powders, we're doing our bronzer. We are going in with the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer in the shade Deep. It's 4 or Deep, whichever one you want to decide it is. Just do a light hand. As you can see, I went a little ham. And with that same brush, a little bit, and then just pat. And then just it always blends in. I always go back in with my wet sponge. Me and this wet sponge, we go bad together. We go together real bad. But I just go and just kind of soften it up. We're going in with blush. I'm doing the Haus Lab blush in the shade Watermelon Bliss. I love Haus Labs. I want everyone to know here and now, I love Haus Labs. Lady Gaga, she did her big one. Let me just say that. Like, do you? Yeah. And with that, I like to follow the C. I think it looks so good doing it this way. It really just highlights and emphasizes the cheekbones in my opinion, and then I hit a little of the nose. A little swipe swipe. Yeah. And now we're gonna go in with highlight. Again, Haus Labs. I already said it. I love Haus Labs. I'm obsessed with Haus Labs. Haus Labs, it's all been great. But I'm going in with the shade Fire Opal. Let me just show you. Do you see this? Yeah. Yeah. I'm just going in with my highlighter brush now and just hitting. And look at, love, love. 10 out of 10 love, 10 out of 10 babe. Oh, there's a migraine. Make that see job. Now from here, before I do lips, I'm gonna go ahead, a little, you get the gist, a little, yeah, a little, okay, and now this one's lethal, babe. It's the One Size Until Dawn mattifying. This will make sure your makeup doesn't move, but it is lethal. You do need to hold your breath, okay? All right, 3, 2, 1. Lips, I have two options I always do. I either do the Statue lip stain in the shade Hazel and Pink. I'll layer them and do that and put some gloss over them. Or if I don't do that, then I go in with the MAC lip liner in the shade Chestnut to line the lips. Here, I take my finger and just, yeah. And now, we're going in Haus Labs, of course. I either do Haus Labs in the shade Fig, or I do, where is she at? The e.l.f. lip oil, the shade Jam Session. I'm really loving the berries right now, and so they work for me. But we're gonna do the Haus Labs today. And oh yeah. And this is my everyday routine. This is literally how I go to work most days. Cause why? I'm a baddie. Hopefully there were some tips and tricks in there that you can use to apply to your everyday routine, and maybe there are some things you could take away that you didn't know. But I'm glad you stayed to the end of this video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.